I'm Joanna Penn from Mystery Thriller TV, and today I'm reviewing Angelology by Danielle Trussoni, which I read on the Kindle. So this is a supernatural thriller, perhaps even bordering on fantasy, and there's almost an aspect of alternative history as well in it as we go back to before the Second World War, as the angelologists are searching for whether angels fell to earth and are still imprisoned. So it's got a brilliant mythology and history behind the whole book. I love the angelologists and the hierarchy of angels, the history books that they have, and how we learn through the study of one of the characters all about the angels. And of course these things are grounded in some aspects of theology, but they treat it more like a science, with actual physical bodies of the angels being involved and kind of being autopsied. And we see that these angels are not good characters at all. They are fallen, evil creatures who don't care about earth or humans. They've got a very cold-blooded kind of aspect, and the sort of pure white of their bodies gives you that sense of being cold like stone. The writing is gothic, very detailed, beautiful, absolutely beautiful in parts, especially the descriptions of angels' wings and their skin. We see this fascination with the beauty of the angels, and yet they are these deadly creatures, almost bent on destruction. So our heroine, Evangeline, in the present day is a nun in a convent in just outside New York, and she also works in the library. And as the book opens, she receives a letter inquiring about some time in the war, with some letters and you know, with Rockefeller, and there are aspects that bring in real history, real people and real places. As she looks out onto the Hudson River, so those of you who live in New York would know that kind of area. So the book is very grounded in history, like real history, real places, and that makes it all the more convincing when we see the supernatural aspects of the world where Evangeline lives. So she basically gets drawn into these letters and what actually happened when there was a big fire at the convent. She meets a man who's basically searching for an artifact on behalf of the angels, but he doesn't even know he's working for them. And together they basically, I won't go too much into detail, but it ends up almost being angelologists versus the angels in the quest for this artifact. There's some really interesting information about celestial musicology, which is using the notes to effect almost a magical event in the world. And we see the search of the various parties for this magical instrument that they can use. The angels want this because they're dying of a degenerative disease that makes their wings rot and fall off, and they are desperate to find this artifact, and of course the angelologists are trying to stop them from becoming these all-powerful creatures on earth. So I really loved this book, highly recommended to you if you're at all interested in the supernatural or the spiritual. It just has beautiful writing, very evocative pieces. The parts back in the Second World War where they go and search for the location of these kind of trapped angels is just marvellous. And the history in Paris of the various families and how they all tie together in the human world is brilliant. So highly recommended, Angelology. Thank you, I'm Joanna Penn from Mystery Thriller TV.